All right. Welcome, guys. This is the first episode of the Redeem Team podcast. If you made it, I'm glad you're here, and I hope that you subscribe, and we can build on this and make this something amazing. My name is Drew Casterline. Y'all want to...
I am Casey, and that's my father.
I'm Armando.
And there you go. And we have a fourth member, Vincent, who couldn't make it today because
Rest in peace, Vincent.
the grind is real, man.
Schoolwork does be tough.
All right, so basically, to give you a rundown of what we're going to do today, it's draft day. So we are going to do a mock draft, and we're doing it serpentine style. I'm going to make a pick. I'm going to say why I think that pick is the right pick, and then I'm going to let them agree or disagree. And then we're going to move on and do the same thing. After that, we'll probably get into trades we like relating to the draft, and basically this whole episode is going to be draft-related stuff. So, first of all, what do y'all think about the draft this year? Good or bad?
I think it's more solid than most drafts, but I don't think the star factor is as high as other drafts.
Yeah, for sure.
There's not a clear-cut number one, basically.
I think this draft is solid. I don't think it's competitive as the drafts previous that have been, but a lot of it's easy to hate on this draft because a lot of these players that are getting drafted are on smaller sample sizes because of the COVID.
That is true.
So
yeah, they only play 30 games, right?
So it's easier to find mistakes.
I know, James Wiseman has 3 games.
Yeah, he's played
all ball his life mixtapes.
He's played 3 quarters worth of college basketball, so it's easy to find mistakes on just about all these players, just due to the sample size.
I think that's my issue this whole time is trying to evaluate these players. It's I don't know.
It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard to tell when you don't know how they look and especially March Madness, because that's the biggest tournament for college players. That's the clutch.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you see who's a leader, who's got that clutch gene, who doesn't have that clutch gene. That's when I found out Justin Jackson's probably not going to be that good. Was in March Madness.
Yeah, he had the size, but it didn't work out.
It never translates.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're a guy like Obi Toppin, and you've had a couple years under your belt.
What is he? This is junior or sophomore?
Sophomore. But that improvement that you saw from freshman to sophomore year was pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all want to get into the mock draft first, or do you want to talk about trades?
We can do the mock draft first, I think.
Mock draft.
All right, let's get this started then. The Minnesota Timberwolves are on the clock. And with the first pick in the 2020 NBA draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select LaMelo Ball, the GOAT. And let me tell you why.
All right.
I think that Minnesota is very adept to drafting star potential. And I think out of this draft, LaMelo has the highest upside when it comes to getting his shots and creating offense. And I think that would translate really well playing alongside D'Angelo Russell. And I think a guy like Anthony Edwards would be solid for them, but I just don't think he has the motor they need. And I think that's been a consistent problem with them, like Zach LaVine, Andrew Wiggins, even Karl Anthony Towns has shown at times that he doesn't like to try very much. Mm. And I just feel like LaMelo has that flash to his game, and he can pass the ball amazingly. And I think that would be the perfect fit for the Timberwolves, in my opinion.
I feel that.
I agree with everything you just said. Outside of LaMelo going number 1, I think that he fits into their system well. I just think that LaMelo is such a ball-dominant point guard that's going to confuse touches with D'Lo.
Yeah.
And I don't think D'Lo's going to give his touches up for
rookie.
A rookie, just like that, at least. But I do see how he fits at number 1.
My issue with that is D'Lo and LaMelo are both known to not be the greatest defenders.
Not at all.
So if they can put up 88 points a game, I think they'll have a good chance.
Yeah.
Him, Cat, and D'Lo are all going to have 33% usage rate. It's going to take up 99% of the offense.
I will say the downsides to his game.
Josh Okogie's going to play 3 seconds a game.
Yeah, facts. I think LaMelo can get really distracted in the spotlight You've seen it at times when he played in what was it, the NBL?
Yeah.
Is that what it was? That seemed more like a popularity stunt and a media stunt than an actual league and actually getting better.
Yeah.
So I think that might be an issue, and I also think he needs the right system because he's not going to just fit everywhere. And efficiency is huge at the point guard position, and he 24% from three, and he's known as a 3-point shooter. That's got to go up. If he continues that, I don't see him doing anything special.
That just comes with that shot IQ. Some of those shots he was taking in Illawarra were just like he was like trying to play horse or something.
Literally.
Exactly.
No, there was a article that broke down like every jump shot he took in the NBL. And like his catch and shoot numbers are horrible because like he's never ready for a catch and shoot. He's always his feet were never set. His hands were down to his side. He's never actually ready to shoot the ball. So I think with good coaching.
Yeah, we watched that video last night, and they were saying like on catch and shoot, like where like film where he's actually like hopping into his jump shot, he was shooting like 43% or something.
Yeah.
But like he was just never trying to do that. He was trying to catch the ball, tween, hezzy jumper.
Just trying to do the most, bro.
Yeah, no, it's just bad. Like he just needs to get like a good coach basically, tell him what to do properly.
So my player comparison might shock y'all. I said Michael Carter Williams.
Really?
Good rookie year version. Like when he was still solid and he had promise.
Like peeled LeBron version?
Yeah. All right. I feel like that's enough ball talk. So let's move on to the second pick.
All right. So with the second pick, because LaMelo is gone, I'm going to say the Golden State Warriors draft James Wiseman from Memphis. I think they draft James Wiseman because Golden State has never really had a true big, and I think James, if Golden State decides to keep that pick, I think Draymond helps James develop into a more sound defender. His offensive game obviously needs some work. That just comes with not playing as many games as he should have or could have, and his age. But I think that he fits well in their system because he can run the floor. He's a decent passer. He's a willing passer, I should say. He has a small midi down. I just think that he flows well with their system, more so than any of the other picks that are available.
Yeah. Well, my thing with him is like you see Golden State, they don't really put like an emphasis on having a good center.
Yeah.
So if they draft him, you could see like a completely like new fold in their offense.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be Kevon Looney or Andrew Bogut. It's going to be James Wiseman, who's a lot more upside than those two guys.
Andrew Bogut's still on their team, bro?
Not anymore. But I'm
saying, I was about to say he's ancient.
He had some good numbers when like that, like a couple of years. We had like a prime for whatever reason.
Kevon Looney at some of those open runs looks like Hakeem Olajuwon.
So I'm saying like with actual like a real center that actually has a lot more skill around the basket, I think they could do a lot with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that pick. I think that's exactly what they need. They've been trying to play with small ball bigs with like Eric Pascal and Amari Spellman, and it's just like given they had a lot of injuries, it just didn't seem to work. And I feel like James Wiseman's that solution.
Yeah, and then keeping Eric Pascal, him being able to flourish into the 4 he became, that takes a lot of the defensive pressure off of him and allows him to cook on offense. Because Draymond's not going to be playing offense. Draymond's the defensive coordinator basically.
Yeah.
So I think that gives James enough room to develop, especially having Steve Kerr at the helm helps a lot too.
And just having it's a unique situation with them at number 2.
Yeah.
It's not, they were in a championship literally 2 years ago.
It's not it's not your normal lottery team.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a team that
he has no
pressure.
Yeah. That's also another thing. Is he goes into a situation where they're not going to lose. The Warriors, I think, will end up being a top 4 or 5 seed in the West this season.
I'm saying top 3
because they're all back healthy, right? So it's different. It'd be different if he went to Charlotte, where Charlotte's not going to be good and James has to perform. James doesn't have to go to Golden State and average 20 and 10 like he would in Charlotte. But my player comparison for James was a more offensively talented DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, I said Hassan Whiteside, so pretty similar games. Like to protect the paint.
Yeah.
Beast athletically. So yeah, that's pretty similar. I like that.
All right, sweet.
All right, let's
All right,
move
so third
on.
pick. All right, so y'all took both my picks. So I guess I'm gonna have the Hornets take. Let's see here. We'll take Anthony Edwards.
Okay.
I think they need a star at this point. They need to hit on
Definitely.
a draft at some point, because they got PJ Washington. He's been good. Devontae
Solid.
Graham, decent.
The most trigger-happy basketball player of all time.
he has the green light because no one else
Yeah,
that team.
right.
Just,
Who's their second shooter? Like Malik Monk.
yeah, Malik Monk.
It's
that was
Juan
another
Hernan
misfire.
Gomez. Let's not
No.
disrespect Juan Hernan Gomez.
Yeah, okay.
My bad,
Cody
bro.
Zeller. So I think at this point they just have to hit on a draft pick at some point because
Yeah.
they've been missing so bad. And with someone like him, there are some stuff about his work ethic, and then his interview last night was horrible about how I'm hoping the reason why he was saying all that is because he didn't want to go to like the Timberwolves or something.
Yeah,
He's
doesn't
trying
want to
lower
go
his
number
draft
one.
stock. I'm hoping that's the reason why.
He's trying to get to Golden State.
Yeah, because this sounded so bad. But I called him what's it called, like a kind of reminds me of like Victor Oladipo.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of reminds me of Andrew Wiggins too, which kind of not is the best thing in the
scary.
world.
I'd
That's
say he's
scary.
better off the dribble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's shown definitely in college that his shot creating potential is crazy.
Yeah.
Like when he's on fire, he's on fire.
Yeah.
His percentages were a little low for my liking, but he's a freshman. He took a bunch of shots, and then the team he was on wasn't that good, so he was the only one taking
He was
those
the
shots.
number one guy like the whole game.
And Georgia's not traditionally a great basketball
Yeah.
school anyway.
But he's a 3-level scorer though, so I think he'll be pretty good.
And free throw numbers typically tell how good of a shooter someone can be, and I think he shot like 77
Yeah,
or
pretty
78%
solid.
from the
77,
line.
78, yeah.
So it's not like he was just out there like stinking it up. Constantly.
Yeah.
My player comparison for him was Donovan Mitchell.
Same for me.
I just think that they're strikingly similar athletically and also within the way at which they get their shots.
Yeah.
He does need to improve a lot in like pick and roll situations because he gets in these pick and rolls, and if they double him, he panics,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not really able to find the roll man. He does sometimes, but it's few and far between. But he's more than capable of making a great pass.
Yeah.
But I think that with the right situation, and granted, just as a forewarning for those watching, this isn't the way we think the draft is going to go. We're just going with the available pick. So,
Yeah.
like for instance, I have Anthony Edwards going first overall,
Same.
but I wasn't able to choose him because of certain circumstances. But I do think that Anthony Edwards does have the potential to be a huge superstar.
I think the biggest question mark in his game is his intensity on defense.
Yeah.
And that isn't very concerning for me because he has the frame to
Yeah.
be an elite defender. It's just a question of does he want to be
Exactly.
and does he want to try?
Right.
Because that we've seen time and time again he's not as dedicated as a top 3 pick usually is.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
So if he gets drafted to the Timberwolves, they still have Tom Thibodeau.
No, they got rid of him.
They got rid of him?
Tom Thibodeau's with the Knicks.
He's with the Knicks now.
Yeah, I forgot who they have now.
Dang, he would have been perfect. He's
Tom Thibodeau
that
was-
he's
He
that
would've turned
cut
him
and
to the-
grind guy.
to be great.
Next Jimmy Butler, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, so we are at what pick number 4?
Number
the
4.
Bulls.
All right, so at number 4, I have the Chicago Bulls taking Denny Avdia.
Interesting.
I like Denny's game. I have him. I'm just really high on him. He's just one of those guys. I just think has a lot of potential in his game.
Mm-hmm.
Denny to me just seems like someone in the Bulls system that would fit, just because the Bulls starting lineup is so hectic. It's
it's weird.
I don't know if they're going to have Kobe White coming off the bench this season. I wouldn't assume so, but their starting lineup's going to look like Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Otto Porter, or no, what?
I think they're
who's at the
trying.
three?
I think they're trying to trade him though.
I'm
Yeah.
not taking that $28
But-
million
No.
deal.
Dude, Wendell Carter and Lauri Markkanen. And
Yeah.
Lauri Markkanen's been known to have injury history. But I think Denny is a guy who can just plug and play. He just seems like a guy that makes all the right plays.
Yeah. Very smart, high IQ player.
His shooting woes concern me, but who knows? Because
Yeah.
even Luka in his league, before he hopped over the pond and started dominating, his shooting numbers weren't crazy. And I mean,
Yeah.
Luka's shooting numbers aren't crazy now, but
Yeah.
he's consistent, at least in some games.
I'd say he's better defensively than Luka right now too.
Yeah, well, Luka just doesn't play defense.
Exactly.
His job is
Luka
to
doesn't.
dribble the ball
Luka doesn't cross half court. Yeah. That if I'm Rick Carlisle, I'm like, Luka, you stay on one end. It's 4-on-5.
It might as well be. Yeah.
But Denny has a weird game because he's so young and he doesn't really have, for me, like a person that he truly looks like. But if I were to compare him to anybody, it would be Tony Kukoc.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's easy to make the foreign comparison, but all foreign guys play like foreign guys.
Yeah.
They all have a little bit of flash. They're all clever. They're not too immensely physical, but they just seem to plug in and Denny has no problem with the hockey assists. He has no problem taking an open jumper.
Yeah.
His jumper is beautiful. He has a pretty jumper.
It's nice.
But I just think the best thing for the Bulls is someone that they can plug in and who can just know what they're
right
doing.
Away too.
Yeah.
I had Obi Toppin going at 4.
I was thinking about doing that, but they already have Laurie, and I don't think they're ready to give up on Laurie yet.
But you could I'm ready
to give up on Laurie, but they're not.
With today's era, though, you can move him to the 5.
Yeah,
and have like Obi play.
Wendell Carter Jr. has kind of been.
He's been off and on.
He stays on the court because he's so solid defensively.
Yeah.
He's so, like, I don't want to say incoherent on offense because that's just, like, immensely disrespectful. But, like, it just seems like on offense he shies away from getting the ball because he knows that, like, he's not the greatest offensive basketball player.
Yeah.
But they keep him on the court because who else is going to defend anybody when your starting lineup is Kobe White, Zach LaVine, Otto Porter, and Lauri Markkanen?
A bunch of young guys, man.
I compared Denny to. I felt like he honestly kind of reminds me of Luka, the way he plays.
Yeah.
Like, just a little bit taller, obviously. But yeah, you're talking about his shooting. He shot 56 from the free throw line.
Yeah,
that's bad.
Scary.
That worried me.
But there's also moments where he looks like he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
Like, there was a moment where I thought he was the best player in the draft, and there's some moments where would I want to draft him because he's kind of scary. Yeah. But, it's hard to tell, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the biggest question with him is his offhand finishing.
Yeah.
I was watching this interview with him last night where he was breaking down his own highlights.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying that he knows he can finish with the left.
Mm-hmm.
He just, in crunch time situations and, like, when he knows he needs an important bucket, he gets scared to do it.
Yeah.
Because he thinks, it's not the highest percentage look, or I don't know, he might lose his handle. But he said that it's something he's already working on. I don't doubt at all that he'll be a solid NBA player.
And it's just a lot of these criticisms with these guys are just from the fact that a lot of them are so young.
Yeah, they are really young.
It's a bunch of 19-year-olds, bro.
Yeah. But you have the 5th pick.
Number 5, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Obi Toppin.
Let's go.
From
yes,
Dayton.
Sir.
I think the Cavs
the
need
King.
an instant impact player. They've drafted, 3 guards in a row?
They need to get a big.
Yeah, they don't need another guard.
If the Cavs were like, you know what? We want Isaac Okoro. I'd be like, throw him away. Give the Cavs to a different...
They already barely have any offense, and I think Obi is the best all-around offensive player in this draft because he can shoot the 3, he can shoot off the dribble, he can score inside, and he's obviously athletic.
Yeah, ridiculously athletic.
Yeah,
I think he would be a perfect fit, and then that would let you keep Andre Drummond as a block player because he can space the floor.
How much was his player option?
It's like around 30.
Yeah,
it's up there, bro.
This is my least favorite part about free agency and all these players that don't deserve these contracts pick up their player option.
Yeah, like, dude, Tobias Harris is set for 5,000 years. Tobias and Al Horford.
Dude, that's so bad.
The 76ers have, like, 3 of the worst contracts in the NBA.
I think the biggest question with him, though, is his age, obviously. He's almost 23, which is ridiculously old for a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
But I
think
feel
that
like
speaks to how talented he is, though.
Yeah, exactly. And that means he can make an impact right away. He's more
Yeah.
mature than most of these guys. And his defense, he's sometimes flat-footed at times.
Full sketch.
Yeah.
And he has the size for it. I just think he needs to work on his lateral versatility.
Yeah, it's like his defense. It's like his defense IQ needs a little. Like,
a lot of times he seems to just like get stuck.
Yeah.
Like he works well. I mean, his rebounding numbers don't really speak to how good of a rebounder he is.
Yeah. He can go get it.
But like he's not as like aggressive as I'd like him to be on the boards, but whenever a board goes up, he does tend to find a body and put somebody on somebody.
Yeah. What's it called? I compared him to like Blake Griffin right now, but with good knees. Because he can shoot. Yeah. And he can, throw it down.
He's a little more fluid.
He led college in dunking this year, didn't he? But a lot.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure over half of his points were off dunks.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And they're all different kinds: lobs, fast breaks, him in the paint by himself.
Well, he would run on the break before his team even got the rebound. That's part of the reason he doesn't have a lot of rebounds.
Yeah.
Which isn't. He shouldn't do that in the NBA.
No,
but.
Let's
not
I
think that might have to do with the system Dayton runs also.
Mm-hmm.
They might just tell him to do that because it's easy buckets.
I think Dayton's is typically like a fast break system.
Yeah. But he's my favorite player in the draft just because of the way he plays.
I agree.
I'm not saying he's going to be the best player in the draft, obviously, but I honestly could see him averaging 20 and 10 pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because he looks really good.
He has that potential. All right, so
number 5.
With the 6th pick.
And number 6.
In the NBA draft, the Atlanta Hawks select Isaac Okoro.
Okay.
That's who I took too.
I definitely
did. I love Isaac. He's one of my favorite players in the draft.
I'd say best defender in the draft.
Yeah, especially at the guard position.
Yeah, he's super good defense.
But I think that the Hawks draft him because they need to hide Trey defensively. Trey plays about as much defense as my dead grandmother. He's not shy about knowing that, but there's room for Trey to get better. He can read passing lanes. He can get handsy, but Isaac Okoro is just someone you can plug in because defense does not go away.
No.
Even with Marcus Smart, when Marcus Smart was in college, some games he just looked like Ray Allen offensively. It was just really confusing. And then he got to the Celtics, and some of that offensive stuff translated later on.
Not right away.
It took a while.
But it took a while. But his playmaking and his defensive abilities, that stuff never withers.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think Isaac could come in, plug in. Who do they have at the 2 right now?
Kevin Huerter.
Kevin Huerter starting at the 2.
And then they have DeAndre Hunter at the 3.
Yeah. So
and I think Okoro would take his job.
So
he could take the 2, honestly. So
yeah.
you could.
Yeah.
Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter strikes me as a 6th man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be solid for them.
But I think they're a good starting lineup where they can hide Trey defensively.
For sure.
Is Trey, Isaac, DeAndre Hunter, John Collins, and then Clint Capella.
For sure.
And I think
that's not a bad lineup.
I think if they pick up a better 3 defensively, they'll be fine. But DeAndre obviously has room to go. There's no reason to give up on players after a year.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that Isaac is just so solid defensively. I think that he hides Trey really well. My player comparison for him was Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
Just because that defense does not go away, and he's shown flashes where he can play make and be dynamic offensively. But it's just not consistent offensively because I'm sure Auburn didn't ask him to go out and average 30.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Yeah.
I liked him because just the way he plays. He's like a super team first, win first kind of guy.
Yeah.
That's all he's about, just win. So he's gonna do whatever it takes. So if he needs to score, he's gonna try as hard as to score.
Yeah.
But all it comes down to really all that hustle is really just his defense. His defense is insane.
Yeah.
I'm curious who you had the Hawks taking though.
I had the Hawks taking Onyeka
Okongwu.
The dude from Chino Hills.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would blend well with Clint Capella and John Collins. He's kind of a John Collins-esque player already.
My thing is I thought he would come off the bench for them at first and grow to be a better defender, rebounder behind Clint.
Yeah.
And then when they can move on from Clint whenever they need to.
Because I think Clint has like a massive
He's a pretty big
too.
Deal because Houston likes to pay everyone a lot of money. Ask Eric Gordon.
Yeah. Yeah. Fertitta's
and they're stuck with him.
And I like the way he plays. He reminds me a lot Onyeka reminds me a lot of Bam, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my player comparison for him. Yeah. All right, so what are we
number
at?
7, the Pistons. I got the Pistons take Tyrese Halliburton. He's super good at scoring.
I love Tyrese.
He's super efficient.
Yeah.
He shot 50, 40, 80 in college.
That's ridiculous.
And
with that ugly shot, too.
Yeah.
His jumpers.
hideous.
I just like how efficient he is, and a lot of college players that are like lottery picks, they're usually not as efficient as he is. He's hyper efficient.
Yeah,
I can see him being a triple-double machine.
Yeah, and I think his defense is pretty good too.
Yeah.
I just think him, because the Pistons, Derrick Rose isn't going to be there forever. Right. Obviously, they might trade him this offseason.
I mean, Luke Kennard's not it.
Luke Kennard's not the answer, but
if they do, Luke Kennard's not the cornerstone of the franchise.
If they keep D Rose and they draft Tyrese, I think Tyrese can learn a lot behind D Rose.
He's an MVP.
D Rose is an MVP, being an athletic guard who transitioned to a pretty solid shooter.
Yeah,
I think you can learn a lot from that, from a guy that knows how to transition his game.
Yeah,
and it's D Rose. Like he's been playing for a while already.
Right.
So you can learn a lot from him. He's a better defender than D Rose already, probably.
Mm-hmm.
And I think him and they picked up Christian Wood's option, right? Or do they need to offer?
If they didn't, they're dumb because he's solid.
I think I don't think they picked up his option yet. But I have to be fact checked.
Yeah, I'm hoping a future of him, Christian Wood, and then like another young guy that they draft later. I like that. Like they have that dude from France, Sekou. And I don't know. I liked him, but I don't know if he's.
I didn't ever understand when the reports came out about him being like the French Zion. I don't know if y'all remember that. But
I watched him play a couple times. He looks solid, but for the most part, he probably is going to be a role player, maybe a fringe starter. But I think they take him though, because that's kind of probably the most important position in basketball right now is the point guard position. Yeah,
Tyrese is another one of those guys that's just plug and play.
Literally,
he doesn't do a lot of stuff that's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He just a lot of the plays he makes are just the right play. So.
No, I like him a lot. I think they get him. I hope they get him. They need something like that.
Yeah.
I had Patrick Williams going at that pick because I think they have non-existent wing players.
Yeah. Well, I think the reason why I didn't say Patrick Williams is because he's kind of a project right now.
Yeah.
And I think they need someone that's kind of like proven already that he's good enough.
Yeah.
My player comparison for Tyrese is Austin Rivers. I think he has that explosiveness to his game.
Yeah.
And he's crafty.
We're talking about fresh out of the draft, Austin Rivers, or
I'd say
Austin
this
Rivers.
past year's don't give Austin Rivers the ball, Austin Rivers.
I'd say Clippers Austin Rivers that got punched in the eye.
Okay.
The one that averaged like did he average like 18 a game that year?
It was up there. He was doing pretty well.
But yeah, I had Tyrese looking like Victor Oladipo.
Okay.
Just because Victor does a lot of the same stuff. It's not stuff that's gonna like wow you. He's not gonna go on the court and shake somebody, or he could possibly dunk on somebody, but he needs a bit of space. But he's just somebody solid defensively, solid. Just does the right stuff.
That's what you kind of need out of that. That's what the Pistons need. They need something like you can build off of someone that's not gonna, like, well, is he gonna do this one day or this the next day? Like,
they need consistency.
Yeah, so that's what I was looking for. Like someone consistent. I think he's that guy that they're looking for.
All right.
So the Knicks, boy, all you Knicks fans out there finna be sad again, bro. You're not. You don't get Denny Avdia, bro, and I know y'all love your international players.
Dude, okay, so I know we're not talking about it yet, but I think they're gonna try to trade up.
I
think so too. Yeah.
But they need to get Julius Randle's contract off of their books because they paid Julius Randle like Julius Randle was Anthony Davis.
Literally.
That was confusing.
They didn't get LeBron, so they're like, let's just pay the same money to Julius.
Let's just give Julius Randle Damian Lillard money.
They signed him, Marcus Morris, and then they signed another four. They signed like Taj Gibson too.
Yeah. Oh, Taj Gibson has a stupid contract. He got wasn't it like a 3-year 67?
No.
He's like 35, 36 now, bro. All right, who do you got?
All right, so where are we? The Knicks. I have the Knicks taking Devin Vassell. I think Devin Vassell is someone the Knicks need. R.J. Barrett's not a good defender.
No.
Frank Ntilikina is a great defender, but he's
can't score to save his life.
He's invisible on offense. So I think that Devin Vassell kind of adds a bit of balance to that. He's decent offensively, but he's great defensively. He's a 3-and-D guy. I think he shot like 43% from the 3 at FSU. He's just someone that, again, does their job. He doesn't do too much. You're not going to ask him to come up the court and initiate the offense. He's going to be a corner wing guy who can knock down a 3, and he'll come down and clamp somebody up. My player comparison for him was Jaren Jackson. just because he's so long and he's young and he's able to guard multiple positions and come down and hit the three.
Yeah. I had him as a better defending Buddy Hield.
That's fair.
I think if he, because right now he's pretty solid shot or it's called a shot maker, but I think if he gets like another wrinkle to his game where he can do the off the dribble stuff, I think he'd be like Buddy Hield.
Yeah.
I said Al-Farouq Aminu. Because I think he has that length and that sneaky athleticism.
Yeah.
And he can get to the bucket.
And he's going to be one of those guys that gets a board exactly when you need the board.
Yeah.
Like, he's just that roll glue guy that just does his job. And interesting enough, I had him at 14.
Devin Vassell?
Yeah. I had him dropping to the Celtics, and I think he's a perfect player for that team.
I have Patrick Williams at 7, and I don't know if he's getting mentioned anytime soon. So.
No. All right.
Not because Patrick Williams doesn't deserve to be up there, but because of the way that we set up this draft format.
Yeah.
All right. It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. With the 9th pick in the 2020 NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Onyeka Okongwu.
Sick.
Saw that coming from
Big O.
USC.
The double O's.
I think he's exactly what they need. You can't rely on Thomas Bryant.
If he doesn't wear the number 7, is that a mistake? His initials are 0007.
That would be fire.
That's hard.
That's nice. I didn't put that together until you said it.
You have to explain
I was like, number 7?
My brain started working really slowly.
Onyeka.
But I think he's exactly what they need. They have okay defenders. Troy Brown is young and upcoming. Rui Hachimura.
He's not a good defender.
Does
He's a good
not
scorer.
play. I think last year he was historically the worst defensive big of all time.
Really?
He's not a very good defender, dude.
Watching Rui on defense is like...
He's a big that...
It's concerning.
It's weird. He plays really weird, but I really like his game, though.
Yeah.
His offensive game.
I think him and Onyeka complement each other because Onyeka is a great shot blocker.
He'll carry the defensive load.
He'll get dunk after dunk like Bam. He's intense.
Yeah.
And I feel like if they can keep Bradley Beal and not get too pulled into a trade, I think that they could actually build on him.
Yeah.
And he could become a franchise guy for them if they develop him right. But
yeah, for sure.
The Wizards aren't known to be the best training staff, so
that's true.
But I think he's perfect for them.
Yeah, I said about him, I said he could provide meaningful minutes to almost any team.
Yeah.
I think he can play right now, honestly.
Yeah, because like we said, defense does not go away.
Yeah, for sure.
His rebounding instincts, his block instincts, none of that stuff ever deters as you go on outside of like the physical aspect of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I agree. I had Onyeka going 9th to the Wizards in my actual draft. But I just like you said, I'm sure when he gets on the court, he'll carry the defensive load that Rui does not pick up.
Yeah,
so.
I think that'll help out a lot because they kind of need that right now,
Yeah.
especially right now because the Wizards are probably going to try one more time.
Yeah,
go for see how their team does.
Yeah, I saw a report saying that they were looking for a John Wall and Russell Westbrook trade.
Which is really weird.
I don't see that happening. Those are two of the ugliest
So they're the same
contracts.
players.
I just don't see why teams are buying in on Russell Westbrook. I think he's a great player, but I just think he's not going to get you a championship in today's age.
He's not going to be the number one option on a winning team.
Yeah.
No.
At this point, if I'm a rebuilding team and I can just absorb his contract and get a first-round pick with it, because like the Houston's probably they're looking to rebuild pretty soon.
Yeah, we were talking the other day about the appeal that Charlotte has for him, and initially I was like, all you're gonna do is deter Devontae Graham, but what bringing Russell to Charlotte does, I'm not saying that's the best destination for him.
Yeah.
But what bringing Russell to Charlotte does is it puts people in the seats, it brings revenue in,
Very true.
It ups the city up, and that brings in potential for star players to want to go to Charlotte.
Yeah.
As strange as that sentence sounds.
And their franchise definitely needs a revival, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
They need something exciting.
They need a pump of something. I don't know what it is, but they need something.
So
LaMelo Ball.
That's what I was hoping
Maybe.
for. That's what I have. I have LaMelo at 3.
I still think he's 1, but I think that would still be
If you
great
went
for
to,
him.
I really want him to go to the Hornets because I feel like he would bring something to the Hornets that they really need.
Yeah.
Who was my player comparison for Onyeka Okongwu?
Mine was Bam Adebayo.
Mine was Mini Bam.
Mini
Bam,
Bam.
but like just another version. of Bam.
Unpolished Bam.
I think Bam, but with a little less playmaking, basically.
Yeah.
Because he's just small, but he's also like he's smaller than most centers, but he's super
And
fast.
he can shoot
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. He's a nice midi.
I want to say he reminded me of like Jared Allen, but I can't remember. So with the 10th pick in the NBA draft, the Phoenix Suns select my favorite player in the draft, Killian Hayes.
Yeah, same. Right here, too.
Killian Hayes.
I have him going to the next pick to the Spurs.
Killian
I like
Hayes.
it.
If I was the Minnesota Timberwolves, I'd be like, Killian, we don't want Anthony. We want you. Killian is so polished. He's like Tyrese Halliburton in the fact that they do a lot of good things. They don't do too much. He's just another plug and play guy. Killian comes in. He's offense.
Great offense too.
He's an animal on offense.
His step back is crazy. He reads pick and rolls really well. He's a gifted passer. He's a more than willing defender.
Yeah. Sure.
His shooting woes don't really worry me just because of the shots that he was taking. Because in context, when you say somebody shoots 30% from three, that initially sounds bad. But then when you watch the threes he's taking, it's like, okay, of course he's only making 30% of these. The degree of difficulty is off the charts.
Not everyone can
It's like
drop.
Luka Doncic. Like his shot's a little bit down, but he's always taking step back jumpers from a mile away.
Not everyone can drop 40% like Dame off of step backs.
Right. You had to get a plug Dame.
I had to do a little Dame sprinkle in this.
It's like, and I think he's 6'5", 190.
Great size.
6'8" wingspan. He was playing in the pro leagues. I think he's been over there since like 16, so he has that experience. He has that experience since being a grown man, from playing grown men. And I also think that he just fits really well in Phoenix's system, especially learning under Chris Paul.
Yeah.
That would be a great mentor.
I had the Suns getting Patrick Williams because they already have, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and they lost Kelly Oubre, so they kind of need someone to bring like that.
Kelly Oubre, welcome to the team. Prettiest man alive. Talk to him.
I just think that they're looking for a future point guard.
Yeah.
And having Chris Paul, and what does he have, like 1 year left?
He's old.
Right, Walker needs to stop talking.
He does.
So, like, I feel like get that 1 year of mentorship in, and Killian Hayes is your guy for the next 10 years.
Killian Hayes, for me, didn't have, like, a true player comparison. But he reminds me of, like, Brandon Jennings on offense just because of how dynamic he can be.
For sure. Yeah.
And he reminds me of Victor Oladipo on defense because Victor's not someone who stands out defensively, but he's someone who's not going to lack defensively. He's just solid on that end of the court. So.
I said Kyrie, and that's generous. Like, that's his ceiling. That's his absolute ceiling. But I just think they have the same shot-creating skills.
The only real knock on Killian is that he's not, like, an overbearing athlete. But, like, look at the game now. The best scorers in the league aren't extremely overbearing athletes.
Yeah.
James Harden is shaped like my grandfather.
Yeah.
And he scores 36 a game. So, like, it's proven that what you need to do in the league to score at an efficient level is get to the rim, be able to shoot the three, and be able to draw contact. And these are all things that Killian Hayes does well.
For sure.
All right. Number 11.
So, the Spurs. All right. So, honestly, since you're not getting Killian Hayes, I think with the 11th pick, the Spurs should get Kira Lewis Jr.
Okay.
I don't. What's it called? Let's see here.
I had the Spurs getting Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, I think they need something like that. DeJounte Murray, I don't think is going to run the point. The point that well.
Yeah.
He's a good defending guard, and he has moments where I kind of like him running point. For the most part, though, I think they need like a true point guard.
Yeah, he doesn't play make the best.
Yeah, and Kira Lewis even himself isn't the most dynamic point guard, but I think he has more potential of being a better point guard than he does.
He's shown bright spots.
Especially if you put him in a system with the Spurs where
for sure.
You're going to be passing the ball. You're going to be picking and rolling and scheming. And he's so dynamic offensively.
Yeah,
his tape at Alabama is just so fun to watch.
Yeah,
his change of speed is crazy.
Yeah, he's fast.
He's probably the fastest player in this draft.
I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is.
It's kind of hard to tell without a combine.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty confident he's a fast defender just by watching because he's ridiculous.
He would get from like 3/4 court to the cup and like it looks like 3 steps.
Yeah.
Obviously he's not that large.
My favorite thing about him though, in terms of just like his play, was he shot more shots his sophomore than he did his freshman year, from the 3 and from like the field. and both of them are at better percentages.
Yeah.
So that
That's
shows
solid.
That's
Yeah,
improvement.
that's very promising.
And the only issue was he has the tendency to go too fast for himself sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can get tunnel vision.
Yeah,
sometimes.
so he ends up making a bad pass or taking a bad shot.
Yeah.
But he has that Kyrie kind of a package in the paint.
Yeah.
He can do all kinds of stuff in the paint. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he has a nice floater too.
Yeah.
So, he's not going to dunk on you, obviously. But he's going to do everything else.
He can dunk, though.
Yeah.
He can surprise you.
He's athletic as well.
My player comparison for him was De'Aaron Fox.
I
me
would say
too.
the same thing.
I hate to be obvious here, but he's fast. He shoots the ball well. He can play make. That's De'Aaron Fox.
That's his whole game.
I
had him going 13 to the Pelicans, though.
I had him going 13 to the Pelicans also at first, but then I noticed that y'all already got Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
So I think the Spurs just need a point guard for the future.
I had Sadiq Bey going to the Spurs.
I had Sadiq Bey
think that's
going to the Kings.
Popovich's perfect player.
I have Sadiq Bey going to what was the Portland Trailblazers pick, now to the Houston Rockets.
And as a Blazer fan, I would actually like Sadiq Bey.
The only reason I have him going so low is just because Villanova players, for some reason, never get hype they deserve.
Yeah.
Michael Bridges.
But
they're always solid role players.
Like when Dante DiVincenzo came out of college, I was like, number one pick. What did
he go, 45 or something? He was low.
I went 31, 30.
Yeah,
he was in second round for sure.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't he wasn't up where I thought he should have been. Because he went to the NBA rookie runs and had a triple double. He was cooking, but obviously that didn't work out.
Yeah. I mean, he's not
maybe
bad,
maybe it will in Sacramento.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one. He may get ripped.
Hey, CJ dropped him hard though his rookie year. He said hezzy and whoa. Yeah, that was crazy, man.
But yeah, I think that Kira Lewis fits in that system just because.
Yeah, perfectly.
Pop is obviously, in my eyes, the greatest basketball coach of all time.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be there that long though. I think Pop's days are kind of numbered.
I think he has 2 years left.
Max. So I don't know if he's gonna get
not because he's gonna get fired. I just think Pop's just tired.
He's gonna retire at some point. He's been there forever.
He's worn out.
Yeah. The only thing is I know that Pop's probably gonna be gone pretty soon, but I don't think they're gonna lose their development because their development I think probably might be. It's easy to top 5.
Yeah, it's hard for me to see Pop just completely leaving the organization. Because isn't he the GM too?
I think he's president of operations.
Because initially when Pop got hired, he fired the coach and went to go coach. So, I don't know if he still owns that position.
But he's actually the dictator of the San Antonio Spurs. He
actually
everything.
owns GMs, player operations, coaches. He's the whole thing.
Scouting.
Y'all think the Spurs hire Becky Hammon as the first female NBA coach?
They're the team to do it.
I think they would.
They love her.
She's good too.
Yeah,
she's solid. And I'd rather have someone new than they're recycling the same, 5 coaches that aren't that good. So
yeah. All right, where are we at? The Kings. Number 12.
So basically, with the Kings, that's where I had Kira Lewis going.
Yeah.
I guess now that all the prior picks are gone, you picked up Patrick Williams, right? Or did you not?
Mm-mm.
No, not yet.
I'm just going to give him to Patrick Williams, just because his name can't slide that far.
For sure.
But I don't know how Patrick Williams works in the Kings system with Harrison Barnes, but Harrison Barnes plays no defense.
And his days are numbered, too.
Yeah. His contract's ugly as well.
It's horrible.
Harrison Barnes needs to shave. He said that he was not going to shave until they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's not happening,
That's
bro.
not happening, man.
The West is too deep.
And now that the Suns have Chris Paul, it's really not happening.
It's over.
Harrison, just get rid of the beard. Anyway, but yeah, Sacramento's going to have to pick up Patrick Williams at this point. I can't just continue to let him slide. But Patrick Williams as a prospect, as a project, can be scary.
For sure.
Because he shoots the ball really well and he defends really well, and he's got and I mean this in the most respectful way. He's got a grown man body.
Yeah.
He's I think he's 6'8". 6'9".
He's terrifying. He's 6'8",
250.
Yeah, he's big as hell.
He's shaped like a young LeBron, and that's saying a lot coming from me because I ride for LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
But Patrick Williams as a project. If they can get Patrick Williams a consistent jumper, he'll have a 15-year career just because he's so good defensively.
For sure.
His player comparison for me was Tayshaun Prince with a jumper. Just because Tayshaun Prince was just so sneakily good defensively. And on offense, he could play make.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he fits in with the Kings. I had Patrick Williams going to Detroit.
I did too, actually.
I had him going to the Suns because now that they're missing Kelly Oubre, they kind of need like a forward kind of player that can play defense and do all the fun stuff.
Like I said earlier, Kelly, welcome to the team, brother. Jersey coming soon. But you now have the 13th pick.
I have 13.
For sure.
All right, with Kira Lewis gone, I had him going 13.
Yeah, I had him going 13 at first until y'all picked up all the other stuff. So like,
I'm gonna have to say Jalen Smith.
To New Orleans?
Yeah. Maybe a guy like R.J. Hampton. Just because they're looking for a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
They lost Drew Holiday.
Yeah, they need some like guard.
So they need some high energy guy to play point.
Which is so weird because like he was so solid defensively.
He's
like,
a good defender.
But it's like
sometimes he gets like then during the bubble he looked like he didn't want to be there.
I know.
It was weird.
Well, to be fair, no one wanted to be there.
Yeah, that's fair. But he
Shout
looked
out
like
to the Clippers who thought that they were gonna out tough the Lakers. No. But yeah, it's weird that Lonzo has that strange those fall off games where it's just like, he plays really good defense. It's like, dude, this guy could be a top 5 defensive guard. And then other games, it's like, why are you on the court?
Yeah, for sure.
So I think New Orleans taking Jalen Smith is a smart pick. I had New Orleans taking Aaron Naismith, another 3-and-D guy, but I think in college he shot the 3 at like 50%. Obviously, that's on a smaller sample size.
That's ridiculous.
But he still shot 50% from the 3.
I think Jalen Smith, he brings
something the Pelicans definitely
brings the defense that they need now that Drew is gone. He has great size, soft touch. The only question I have with the Pelicans, like, keep in mind I didn't have him at this pick. He was just
for sure.
the best available. But if he were to go to the Pelicans, I feel like he wouldn't mesh well with Zion very well.
Yeah.
Just because they both are average shooters that are just explosive.
Yeah.
I compared him to Pascal Siakam.
Mm-hmm.
He has that type of length and athleticism and doesn't like to shoot when it's important.
Yeah.
AKA the playoffs.
Yeah. And anytime he gets in the paint, you know the spin move's coming.
For sure. Bro, I was hoping I hope the Pelicans actually draft Kira Lewis though, because I want to see him and Zion run the break or a pick and roll.
That's the thing though that that Lonzo brings to the table is he is so gifted at putting a pass anywhere you need it to be. Sure. But I think Kira Lewis in the Pelicans would fit well just because they could probably have Lonzo. They could still have Lonzo run the 2.
Yeah,
Lonzo's
definitely run the 2.
But Alonzo can run the 2 and still initiate the offense.
Yeah, or you could switch it around and Kira Lewis would just be a very what's called a slashing 2.
I mean, it's working in Portland. CJ's only 6'3". He plays the 2 guard.
That's true.
But all right, so is it me with the 14th pick?
Last pick of the lottery, baby.
All right. So the Boston Celtics fumbled it last year. They lost the hand toss, and they did not get Tyler Hero. The Miami Heat ended up with Tyler Hero.
Goat.
So, shout out to the baby goat. At 14, I have the Boston Celtics picking Precious Achiuwa.
I like him.
I like Precious. I also like his name more.
Sure.
He's just someone the Celtics need. I like Daniel Tice, but. And I like Enes Kanter.
No defense.
But, Enes Kanter doesn't defend, and Daniel Tice doesn't play offense.
Yeah.
So Precious Achiuwa kind of balances it out on both offense and defense. He's got a nice little post hook.
His jump shot's not bad.
He's got a jumper that could use some work, but definitely has the potential to be better. And I also think that he's like a more impressive Robert Williams to me. When Robert Williams comes off the bench for Boston, he's a spark plug. He comes in, he does his job, he gets sometimes. But on defense, though, Robert Williams is like he ignores the 3 ball. I don't think he thinks that that's real yet. He'll be on defense, and he's like, "Oh, I got to guard that guy."
Straight.
But so Precious just seems somebody to me that he just screams Boston to me. Boston's hard nosed, blue collar. They come in, they work. Precious Achiuwa reminded me of a more defensively sound Zach Randolph. Just because he just comes in and he's tough and he does his job and he doesn't overdo things. Seems like a lot of these players in this draft don't really overdo things.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's also a testament to how good a lot of these players are. But I just think Precious just can come into Boston and he'll work well, especially after the pick and roll, because he doesn't have to come in and worry about offense. They have Jason Tatum, they have Jaylen Brown, they have Kemba Walker. They could potentially have Gordon Hayward, but I read something Atlanta's interested in picking up his contract. Yeah. But, yeah, I just think Precious just comes in and he just fits well into their system.
For sure.
I compared him to Zion.
Precious?
Yeah. I said, like, a great value Zion. Because their games are almost identical. Precious just seems a little thicker, doesn't jump as high, doesn't shoot as well. Like, he does everything Zion does, but a little bit less.
Yeah. I had the Celtics getting R.J. Hampton because Kemba Walker, his knees are starting to kind of become more of it's like a warning sign. And if they drafted him right now, I think, you don't need him to do anything right now.
Yeah.
If he's better than Brad Wanamaker, put him at, the 6th man.
Brad Wanamaker some games, like, gets on the court and it's like, fire him. Get him off. I don't want to watch him.
He scares me.
But, like, RJ to the Celtics is tough for me because last year they took Romeo Langford.
That is true.
And Carson Edwards.
And he's a bucket, though.
I love Carson Edwards.
He's a bucket.
Carson Edwards is basically the light-skinned version of Kemba. But, like, I'm just not sold on RJ.
Yeah, I'm not sold on him yet. I kind of want the Celtics to get him because they're kind of.
But the Celtics do have a history of good player development.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I want them to get RJ. So, because some teams, they don't know how to manage, young players that aren't that good yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Bam. That's the lottery.
That rounds out the lottery.
That rats out 1
nice
through
job,
14.
Guys.
All right, so we're talking about trades that we want to happen now.
I already got some ready to go.
All right, you go first.
I'm curious what y'all are finna think about these.
Okay.
I think the Timberwolves could potentially trade down for Toppin or Avdia.
Mm-hmm.
And get a good wing guy to go alongside Cat and D'Lo.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if the Timberwolves were to do that, they need to stay away from they need to get rid of Josh Okogie.
Yeah.
They need to get rid of anybody that provides any defensive prowess, because when you do that, when you trade down for Denny or Obi, they're not overbearing defenders. They're not they're just guys that'll play defense. They're average defenders. But when you trade down for guys like that, you have to get rid of somebody that provides you defensive stability, because when you do that, you're drafting a player who's only going to provide or mostly provide offensive stability. So you're just going to have to go in and want to get into shootouts with other teams.
Yeah.
And the Timberwolves have the potential to do that with D'Lo and Cat and Obi or Denny. But I just think that if they do trade down, that it's just going to be clear that their desire for games is just going to be to get in and have an offensive warfare.
Yeah, sure. I think the Warriors might trade their pick. I kind of want them to.
I think so too.
I want them to just.
Who do you think they'll trade it for, though? You got any ideas?
I really, really want them to trade the 76ers, either for Joel or Ben Simmons. I just want to see it.
That's interesting. I think they'll trade it for Bradley Beal.
I don't think they need Bradley Beal.
I don't think they necessarily need anybody.
That is true.
But I think they could trade Wiggins.
I think they need a more offensively sound 3. Draymond gets on the court on offense.
But with their small ball, Bradley Beal can play the 3 for them.
That is true. Or I remember
Yeah, but I don't know how Bradley Beal's gonna want to
be that third
option.
He's gonna go there and he's gonna be the third option. You're not getting touches over Clay. You're not getting touches over Steph, and you're probably not gonna have the ball in your hands as much as Draymond, just because he initiates the offense sometimes.
Yeah.
So I think if the Warriors trade down, they'd probably trade with a team like the Kings, who can give up Marvin Bagley, just someone at the 4 who can provide you offense. Although that injury history he has is scary.
It's horrible, dude.
It's like the whole Kings roster. Bro.
Yeah, and
that roster's cursed.
Yeah, and when the Kings get that number 2 pick, they would probably just still take James Wiseman just to make up for Marvin Bagley.
Yeah, so and Harry Giles.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's a win for Sacramento.
Yeah, they need. If they could, I want the Knicks to trade up also.
Yeah, I think they could potentially have a Warriors.
The Knicks. This
trade.
is what needs to happen with the Knicks. The Knicks need to call in and be like, "Look, our entire team just died. We have to do one of those emergency drafts where every team picks 3 untouchables and the rest are game.
Just get a whole revamp of the roster.
And they need to be like, RJ, you go to like Bora Bora, Frank Ntilikina, go back to France."
You can go chill with Damon Cabo.
Mitchell Robinson, go to post-up camp, and they need to pick up a whole new team.
Yeah.
The Knicks piss me off because it's like they never, and it's not the players' fault.
No, it's
James Dolan.
Yeah. It all trickles down.
Is he the worst owner in sports outside of Jerry Jones? That's my Cowboys bias. So I hate Jerry Jones.
It's pretty awful, but no, I think
James Dolan's just terrible.
Yeah, he doesn't like. There's no direction of the team.
Like
you want them to rebuild, and then they signed 3 power forwards last season.
Yeah, and
it's okay not to get Kevin Durant or Kyrie, but don't try to settle for Julius Randle, Marcus Morris, and I saw the Taj Gibson. I looked at his contract; it was 2 years for $20 million. It's like it's $10 a year. Which isn't horrible.
That's not bad.
It's not horrible, but
for his
Taj
age,
Gibson.
yeah.
For Taj though, that's like, Jesus, isn't he like 36?
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, he's up there.
He's been in the league forever.
That's terrible.
I want them to trade up though. I think basically the only people that are untouchable in the Knicks would be RJ and Mitchell Trubisky, Mitchell Robinson.
No, Mitchell Trubisky's pretty untouchable for the Knicks.
But RJ kind of scares me. I really like his game, but I also don't like his game at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he can bit.
I'm super in between on RJ. Yeah.
If they could trade up and get a top 3 pick and try to get LaMelo Ball,
that would be perfect for them.
I think
that's perfect for LaMelo. Who's the? Oh wait. Tom Thibodeau's the coach of the Knicks, isn't he?
Yeah, I've turned LaMelo into the hardest working player of all time.
But that also takes away LaMelo's green light. I think LaMelo needs to go to a situation where the coach is just like,
shoot every time.
Let it fly. Dude, I don't care. Like, that's why I think, because I have LaMelo going to the Bulls in my draft. I think, as a Thunder fan, Billy Donovan's a decent coach. He develops well. He's good with players, and I think that he will let LaMelo get his shots off without it hurting the team, and will also let LaMelo get his shots off where it benefits LaMelo's progression as a basketball player.
Yeah. No, because Tom Thibodeau just joined the Knicks, right? He hasn't coached yet.
Yeah, he hasn't stepped on the floor.
So LaMelo runs the point, and then RJ at the 2, even though, one's solid than the other.
Yeah.
But if he can get RJ to be a better defender, because RJ should be a good defender. Yeah. There's no reason for him not to be a good defender.
Yeah, he has the frame.
He has everything he needs to be a good defender. He just needs someone to yell at him, apparently, because, it's hard to play defense these days. If he can be a good defender, so he gets the best, defensive assignment out of the guards, and LaMelo gets to do what he needs to do. So that's, run the pick and roll, run the offense and all that
just
stuff.
A playmaking.
Yeah, I think you have something you can build on. Especially if you get Mitchell Robinson doing the pick and rolls.
Yeah.
You can throw a lob anywhere with him.
Every time.
LaMelo has that ability that Lonzo does.
Yeah.
Those passes, those outlets and those passes that he makes, they just need to be exactly where they need to be.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And here's the thing: when people play with LaMelo, they're going to realize other people are going to want to play with him because as soon as LaMelo gets a board, it's when he's looking down the court.
And he's very unselfish.
That's why people like to play with LeBron, is because they know they're going to get that outlet pass.
Yeah.
And when other players come to the realization that other players are going to want to play with LaMelo because of his passing ability, that's going to up their play. And that's going to force them to work harder so they don't lose their job.
Yeah, exactly.
But the downside of that is the Knicks have a history of players going there and disappearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A very long history of
flying,
that, for that matter.
Off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
Good players go there, and it's like the Cleveland Browns of the NFL or of the NBA. Like, they go there, and it's like, this
is it for me. I guess
it's like the upside down.
I'm going to China next year.
It's like the upside down.
I'm guessing. Obviously I'm not a player, so I don't know, but I just want to know how dysfunctional that the inside of that organization is. I want to work for the Knicks just to see what the hell is going on there.
Because there's
just to get some answers.
There's just so much dumb stuff going on.
James Dolan. It's James Dolan.
Yeah.
He gets. It's like, dude, I get you not wanting to relinquish your position as a team owner.
Yeah.
But, like, at some point in time, you have to do what's best for the team.
Yeah.
And it's clear that James Dolan being at the helm is not the good idea.
Yeah.
James Dolan is driving a car blind going 120 right now on the highway. And he's just crashing into everything and making mistakes. He's been doing that since, what, 96?
Yeah. My favorite thing about him was...
I don't think the Knicks have won anything significant since, like, the 70s.
Yeah, it's been...
When they had, Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
When Phil Jackson actually
when he was playing.
Yeah, I mean, not a coach. He was
they
playing.
made the finals twice in the 90s. One was with a lockout season. The other one was when they lost to Hakeem.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just been...
Yeah, there's two realities for LaMelo if he goes to the Knicks. He's going to go there, average 23 a game, probably shoot on shitty efficiency, but he's going to get his numbers.
Yeah.
But the other reality of that is he's going to go to New York, realize Tom Thibodeau doesn't play that bullshit, and LaMelo's just going to be unhappy. And then you know how LeVar is when his kids aren't happy. LeVar's going to come in, make it a whole media storm.
And
LeVar's
I'm tired of it. I don't want to see that again.
I don't want to see
No, what's cool with that, though, is when LeVar said he didn't want his son to play for the Warriors, LaMelo said, I disagree. Lonzo never said that.
Yeah, at least he's making his own opinion.
Like, have y'all watched The Ball in the Family?
Like
their Facebook show?
I'm not giving them the benefit of the doubt, bro. They're not getting my
LaMelo is testy, dude. LaMelo is he's like the bad son.
Well, he's the youngest, so it makes sense.
Because Lonzo's like the, Lonzo. He's nonchalant. He's quiet.
Chill.
He just goes along with the flow. LaMelo sticks out like a sore thumb in that show. Like, LeVar will be like, LaMelo, do this. And LaMelo's like,
hell no.
And Lonzo's like, did you just say that? And he's like, I'm playing 2K, bro. Like, leave me alone. LaMelo just seems more testy. But regardless of him not agreeing with his father's still going to be in the headlines.
Oh, yeah,
and I'm not trying to hear about how LeVar wants to play James Dolan one-on-one for LaMelo's minutes. I don't want to hear that.
That's why I want to do the Hornets.
Yeah.
Because he says something. You're not going to hear a damn thing.
Yeah. What? You're going to argue with Michael Jordan?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you going to do?
He's going to be I'll dunk on you, Mike.
Yeah, play him one-on-one, please.
Fuck that. I want LaMelo to go to the Hornets strictly because LeVar said that he could beat Michael Jordan.
That's all. I just want to see that.
Facts.
I don't care about LaMelo's career at this point. I want LeVar to get embarrassed by Michael Jordan. LeVar is a great businessman.
Yeah.
But the worst part about that is he gets on the other end and he talks and talks and talks, and I get it. It brings in traction. Yeah, but it's like, okay, at some point...
It's all marketing at this point.
At some point, you got to know when to stop it.
Yeah, it's annoying as hell.
You should not... That's why Lonzo's career hasn't panned out the way it should have, because he put a target on his back.
The first game, Patrick Beverley was shoving him around.
Yeah, he called him a bitch in the first game.
Yeah, like, it was bad. That was horrible. I was so sad. But also kind of glad because I didn't like his dad.
I love Lonzo.
That draft, though, I said De'Aaron Fox would be better than Lonzo. And I was hoping he would, just because, like, all the crap between them, because they've been playing each other since, like, AAU. Yeah. And Lonzo's always got the spotlight. And I just felt like De'Aaron Fox was better just by watching.
He got the best of him in March Madness.
When they played March Madness and De'Aaron Fox had like 30.
He had like 34.
It was music to my ears.
No, I just...
The Kings suck, though.
Yeah.
All right, y'all want to wrap this up saying things that we're looking forward to in the draft tonight?
This is what I'm looking forward to in the draft tonight. Unpredictability. I have no clue how this draft is going to go.
Weird.
Wait for the next Anthony Bennett, man. That's this year.
Peyton Pritchard's going number 1. And we're going to get a Bill Simmons. Whoa!
I hope he's commentating tonight. Yeah. I really do. I love him.
It's just because this draft has no true number 1.
Yeah, it's a weird draft.
I've literally, out of the top 10 of these, I've heard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different number 1s.
Yeah, I've heard Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, LaMelo, Obi Toppin, Denny. Who else have I heard?
Even Killian Hayes has had some nods.
I heard some Killian Hayes I love. I think it's the 6th I've heard the most. Everyone else, though, it's kind of in between the whole area.
I feel like this is a deep draft. It's not a talented draft.
I think it's a super solid draft. I just don't think we're going to see like the next LeBron James.
I think it's a solid draft, but I think the disparity from all 30 picks isn't as large as past drafts have been.
Yeah, like
Like obviously
I'm
Anthony
okay with
Edwards.
all these guys.
Like
You're not getting Caleb Swanigan in the first round this year.
Like I have at my last pick, I have Jameis Ramsey going to Boston.
Yeah.
But like Anthony Edwards is better than Jameis Ramsey, but it isn't how like Cat is way better than the last pick of this draft. You know.
For sure.
So I think I don't want to say it's even because like there's obviously players who are better than others, but like. The disparity just makes it seem like a not deep draft, but I think it's a deep draft for that reason.
Yeah.
Is because the disparity between 1 and 30 isn't, like, crazy.
Yeah. I like Jaden McDaniels and Josh Green. I'm like right next to each other.
Those are sleeper picks.
Yeah.
I like those guys too.
What are they projected, like late first?
On this one, they're projected late first. Yeah, you got this guy at 23, or Josh Green at 23, and Jaden McDaniels at 24.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like Jaden McDaniels a little bit better than I like Josh Green.
I like Tyrell Terry too. Tyrell Terry played at Indiana, I think, but he's so solid. He's so good. I have Denver picking him. Denver always has clever drafts.
Yeah, they always draft someone good.
And I have the Miami Heat taking Cole Anthony.
I saw that too.
That
would be
interesting.
Instead of so replace Kendrick Nunn with Cole Anthony.
Because I think
I like it.
it's the same thing.
Like
it's the same
player,
thing,
but
Cole
I
Anthony,
just think
is better.
I don't think Kendrick Nunn's staying
too.
for a while
I don't think it's too.
because he had that good rookie season.
Yeah.
But it was
a
proven in
trade
the
asset.
playoffs.
He was. They
couldn't
hesitate.
play him.
Yeah, they didn't hesitate to not play him. He had
they only played 7 guys
in the finals when Gore was hurt. He ended up having to play.
Yeah,
he actually played decent, but for the most part, I don't think they really.
Yeah,
I think when they picked him up, they just picked him up for minutes, and then he ended up being a lot better.
Yeah, that block on AD in the finals was the highlight
was
of
the
his career.
stupidest I've ever seen in my life.
I still to this day can't fathom why AD did not dunk that ball. But yeah, I just don't think Kendrick Nunn's gonna be in Miami for that much longer.
No,
not because he's not talented, but just because I know Miami's gonna want to make a splash in free agency.
They're gonna want to get better.
Oh, Miami's easily scheming.
Yeah.
Especially with this upcoming year, the free agency, all the people that are going to be.
Yeah. All right, I got a quick question for y'all, though. Who's y'all's favorite player in this draft?
I'll let you go first.
Either Killian or Obi.
Obi.
Oh, man. My favorite player in the draft
Not saying he's going to be like the best player, obviously, but just who's your personal favorite?
Killian or Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, mine's Obi. And then, all right, who's your least favorite player?
Least favorite? Out of the people
out of like the top people,
out of the lottery that we just who you think has the biggest probability to be a bust?
I'd say either Cole Anthony or RJ Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest probability to be a bust is LaMelo, but he's not my least favorite.
That's just because he has high expectations.
His expectations are going to be higher than everyone else's because just the way
just because of his name.
Yeah.
My least favorite in the lottery.
My least favorite in the lottery,
tough.
like in terms of just actual players.
Because I like all these guys.
Mine will probably be Patrick Williams because he's so raw. He's a project.
I'll probably go with Patrick, not because I dislike him, but just because he's just one of those guys that has to be worked on.
Yeah, and then like I think in a worst case scenario, I think Denny would probably be like one of the worst players in the draft, just because let's just say that
he'll hand out like Mario Hazonia.
Yeah, that free throw shooting percentage never changes, and everything around that never changes.
Yeah, and free throw percentage, like I said earlier,
it's a good teller
of who can be a good shooter and who can't be.
So let's say he never becomes a good shooter, then you got
then he's just an all these.
Then he literally is Mario Hazonia at that point.
Yeah, he's an unathletic playmaker.
He's an all these version of Maxi Kleber. No, never mind. I take it back. That's disrespectful. Maxi Kleber can shoot the ball.
Maxi was cool.
Yeah, you're right. It's Mario Hazonia. That's his. His floor. Is Mario Hazonia.
Yeah, and that's a bad floor.
That's the lowest floor in the NBA.
That's the lowest of the floors.
That's like in the elevator when you get to like the first floor of the hotel, and then you have
go
those
basement.
You have those like 3 extra buttons. They're like, oh, I wonder where this leads. The lowest one is Mario Hazonia.
He's like the next Andre Bargnani, bro.
Andre had some solid years in Toronto, though. He's just an idiot.
2 years.
more years than I got.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh, man. Yeah, just to preface, all this disrespect that we show towards these random NBA players is not because we think they suck. Just kidding.
They would kill
some of them.
They would probably murder
every
us.
single one of us. They're NBA players.
Yeah,
but
true.
it's
Not
funny
me,
to crack these jokes.
I got it on a string. Not me.
That's true. But we crack these jokes just because it's funny to make these jokes, and I would like to say we're not making any jokes that aren't commonplace.
Yeah.
Everybody knows everybody knows Mario Hezonja is not good. So Mario Hezonja.
Sorry, Mario.
If I saw him though, I'd ask for his autograph.
Yeah. If I saw him, I would be like, check. If I saw him, I'd be like, check up.
All that time the Blazers just gave you just a bad taste in your
that
mouth.
one season where he made 2 3-pointers.
Dude, I remember the first game of the Lakers series. I was like, if Mario takes more than 3 shots, they're losing in 5.
Yeah, and we lost.
He took
5.
like 6 shots.
Yeah.
Dude, Mario's terrible.
And I think on that disclaimer, we should wrap this episode up.
Sweet.
We love y'all for tuning in.
If you made it all the way through,
you might as well subscribe, bro.
There's $5 million hidden in the Sahara Desert. That's your token.
Reward.
That's your reward.
Yeah.
For watching.
Only we know where it is. You got to watch the next episode.
The Redeem Team podcast. The next episode will have the exact coordinates as to where this $5 million is.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all so much for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time.